Yeah, welcome back to Real Sports Talk, home of the realest sports talk. I'm your host, Run It Up Rue, and today is an off-season All 32 preview special of the Chicago Bears. We about to break them down, everything you need to know going into the off-season, cap space, players that they losing, players they bringing in, draft needs, draft picks, everything and more. Right here after that. Oh yeah, plus a live mock. Let's get into it. The Chicago Bears finished last in the NFC North with a 5-12 record. Not the kind of season that they figured going into the season with Caleb Williams, the highly talented rookie quarterback. They expected things to go on an upward trajectory, and unfortunately, it just kept spiraling and spiraling out of control. But when it comes to Caleb Williams, there was definitely flashes and moments where you can see why they was resembling his game to such quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes. Just his ability to maneuver around through the pocket, um, make things up on the fly, use his arm talent at different angles, you know what I'm saying, to get that ball in position. And maybe he did that a little bit too much, because at really the beginning half of the season, even in the middle half of the season, you just didn't see it clicking offensively. You didn't feel as though like he had a full control and command of the offense. There was some plays, there was some drives that you could put it on the head coach who was ultimately fired. Now my defensive coordinator and Matt Eberflus. But the disconnect between him and Caleb Williams played out on the field. Sometimes Eberflus let him out the dry as far as like calling timeouts in key moments. Sometimes he wasn't aware of situations during drives, key moments, need to clock the ball, need to get to the line, need to hurry up. There's a lot of things that Caleb Williams need to do to improve on his rookie season. Now he threw for 3,541 yards. That was good enough for 17th in the NFL. So that's about league average. 20 touchdowns, that's tied for 15th in the NFL. That's about league average. 6 interceptions. That was really good in my opinion for a rookie quarterback under the stress that he was with that, dealing with that offensive line. Only having 6 interceptions, the one thing you can say about him is he's a protector of the ball. Now, everything else comes with that. You can't get better with anything else unless you protect the ball. So 6 interceptions is definitely something you want to give. You want to give him his props for. Now, a 46.7 QBR, that has to improve. That number tells you that there's a disconnect between him and the coaching staff. To have that level of a QBR, that's just an understanding of who you using on the field. In my opinion, the coaching staff had to have been better and understand who they were playing with, his limitations, and what could he do right now for us to help us win. I don't think they put him in uh, position most of the time to actually succeed. They just wanted Caleb to go out there and be this guy that got him the name from, coming out of USC and stuff like that. So can Caleb settle into a new offense? What's more important for Caleb to improve on this offseason? Is it his accuracy, which he struggled with his intermediate, short to intermediate, and his deep ball also? So he struggled with accuracy, or his decision making. Now I did say he only turned the ball over 6 times, but there were other things other decision making that came in effect. Like I said, not knowing when to clock the ball, situational awareness. You know what I mean? So what would be more important for Caleb Williams? Y'all let me know in the chat right now. What is more important for Caleb Williams? Is it for him to improve on his accuracy, or is it to improve on his decision making? If I had to pick one, I would believe that it would have to be decision making, because although his accuracy on those balls, everything can be worked on. Everything can be worked on, right? But in the offseason, you want to take it, thing by thing. You don't want to be, a master of none. So you want to understand where you're coming from, break it down individually, some from the decision making to the accuracy. So it's all about evolution, and he will evolve. I think he has a bright future in front of him. Most definitely. Now, will Coach Ben Johnson bring the same offensive scheme to Chicago? Will his lack of head coaching experience affect Caleb's growth? So when he was in Chicago, his offenses are known for misdirection plays, multi-dimensional schemes. I mean, he believes in creating space for players, and exploiting mismatches. He believes in adjustments to his strategy to match the strengths and weaknesses of his roster. So I don't believe, I do believe that he'll be bringing pretty much the same offensive philosophy that he had in Detroit over to Chicago. I believe that will be the case. It's his bread and butter. So why would he not? Now, will his lack of head coaching experience affect Caleb Williams? I think it's a learning curve for both of these guys. Caleb has to learn Ben. Ben has to learn Caleb. Right? They have to be on the same accord. Right? They have to be marching to the same tune. When you do that, that helps the quarterback. That helps the team in tremendous fashion. When you put your players in prime position to do the best things that they do best, man, you're going to get great things, right? But it's when you're counterproductive, when you're trying to force something on someone, that it just doesn't go right. I mean, look at the success Baltimore is having with Lamar Jackson. You can't tell me any system he went to, he would be 2 MVPs into a season by now, his career by now. That's not the case. What it took was an organization, not just a head coach, but the organization to understand who they have and then cultivate around him. Now, ultimately, they haven't won the Super Bowl yet, but I think as fans of whatever team, right, we all believe that, he could get it done. They have the pieces in place. This is a league of parity. So it's more of a when, not if. So I think it's a learning curve. They'll learn each other. Will they have hiccups? Will there be some blunders? Will they have some times where they like, man, I wish I could get that back? Of course, who doesn't? Tom and Bill had it. It's a learning curve for everyone. I think what's most important is for Chicago to say that they have their guys. I think that's what's most important. I think that's what every Chicago band fan is really wanting and desiring and needing with the passion, is to have their guys. They'll go through whatever battle. They'll come ready and strapped to whatever war. That's Chi-Town. They're gonna come to whatever war ready. As long as they know they got their guy, that they got gonna ride for them. And I believe Caleb Williams and I believe Ben Johnson is going to have a great future together. I don't see Ben giving his job up anytime soon. He's going to make Chicago his. Now, I think what's vitally important for Chicago is to build that coaching staff in not only in the identity of the coach, but of the quarterback as well. They need to bring some dogs. Now, Ben coached the offensive coordinators in Detroit, but I believe that energy that was in that building came from the head coach. So it'll be interesting to see what does that energy feel like in Chicago? Can he keep that same energy? Will he come to Chicago biting on kneecaps? I mean, that's a good question to ask. Did that soak into your blood? That kind of fire, that kind of passion? He couldn't get the job if he wasn't able to stand in the room with men. But can you lead a room full of men? There's a difference. There's a difference. You can be qualified enough to speak in a room full of men, but are you a leader of men? Can you open the doors to that room and men follow behind you and what you're saying? Are you able to do that on a week in and week out basis? Right? Because we could take the miss flag. No, 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 don't throw the flag. As a Chicago's fan, you could take those kind of learning curve things, but what you can't take is somebody that's just coming in air. And Ben does seem arrogant, but that's a good thing, because when you're confident in yourself, other people can be confident in you. So we'll see, as far as his lack of head coaching experience, how that really affects Caleb Williams' growth. But we'll definitely see. Now, as far as the Chicago Bears expectations going into the 2025 season is, one, get Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson on the same page as soon as possible. ASAP. ASAP, ASAP, ASAP. There's nothing more important than that right now for the Chicago Bears this offseason. It's getting those two guys in the lab. And I also heard that Shane Waldron wouldn't even watch film with Caleb. So that's the kind of dysfunction that he was dealing with. I pray for Caleb's sake that Ben Johnson is willing and able and eager to sit down and watch film with his quarterback to understand what his quarterback is seeing. So that is the most important thing for the Chicago Bears going into the 2025 season, is to make sure that Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson are on the same accord. Now, they also want to build that offensive lineup, because it's terrible, and it has been terrible. And General Manager Poles, he needs to do something about it. I think they'll be going into free agency looking to fill key positions, and that offensive line, for damn sure, is going to be one of them. Now, ultimately, the whole team needs to embrace this new philosophy that will be coming with Ben Johnson. What that philosophy is a wait and see game. Because, like I said, he's coming from a pack where it was being led by a leader, right? Now, when you get your own pack, can you lead it? That's the biggest question for me with Ben Johnson, is can he get on the same accord with Caleb Williams, and can he lead that team in the right direction? Whoever he brings in as defensive coordinator, down to their assistants, it has to be intentional. The Bears free agents going into the 2025 season, first off, wide receiver Keenan Allen. I think everybody loves Keenan Allen. He's a dog. I think he has some hard times this season. There was some drop balls more than he would have liked. He's an unrestricted free agent. It'll be interesting to see if Chicago brings him back. I'm not sure if they do, though. Offensive lineman Tevin Jenkins. He's also up. He's an unrestricted free agent. Now, they could bring him back for a cup of coffee, but I think Tevin Jenkins may look for greener pastures elsewhere. I could actually see Tevin signing within the division, but that's just on another thing. Next would be running back Travis Homer. They're just going to be looking to get younger at that position, more explosive. I could see them drafting a running back early in this draft. Defensive end Darrell Taylor. He's out of here. And they have 16 other unrestricted free agents. But those were the notable guys to me that I wanted to mention for you. Now, the Bears salary cap going into the 2025 season is tremendous. $65 million. They're going to have that bag to spend. So, like I said, getting key positions from veterans in this offseason is going to be high on General Manager Poles' desk right there. That's got to be in front of him. And I think that offensive line is where you start. $65 million. Yeah. Second-year quarterback, second time around with a new head coach, $65 million. You can't ask for a better situation. I say they do some big things when it comes to free agency with that kind of money. Now, the team needs going into 2025 offensive line, interior especially. Interior especially. That offensive line is trash, but especially interior. Now, Tevin may come back. Tevin Jenkins may come back. That'll leave veterans on the outside, but drafting some young guys, I think, going after some key free agents on that interior line would be a smart move for Brian Poles. Edge rusher. They need to get to the quarterback. I think they got some guys in house that they like already, but you can never have too many edge rushers. Running back, like I said, they want to get younger at that position. They want to get more explosive at that position. I can see them going in free agency, looking to make a splash there. Wide receiver as well, and defensive tackle. Now, between free agency and the draft, they need to get all these holes filled, and I think they got the bag to do it, right? But do they have the foresight? Do they have the fortitude to get it done? We'll see, right? Now, the free agent targets, Bears, 65 mil. Ooh, everybody coming running for a piece of that pie. Offensive guard, Trey Smith, Kansas City Chiefs. Mekhi Becton, Philly. Super Bowl winning Mekhi Becton. Center, Drew Dalman. And left tackle, Ronnie Stanley. Those are some offensive free agent targets I think that could be on play for Chicago. Now, when it comes to the defensive side of the ball, you got edge, Azeez Ojulari. I think that would be a great pickup for Chicago. I'm sorry. There, Azeez Ojulari would be a great pickup for Chicago. I already spoiled it. Let's get to him. Khalil Mack, OG. Khalil Mack. Could he return to Chicago? Return to Chicago? Why not? Why not? It's smelling new over there. Got a new car smell. Why not? New offensive and defensive philosophy going on over there. Why not? Javon Holland could be a definite upgrade up there. He's somebody to look out for. I think he goes elsewhere, but I do feel like defensive wise, they could definitely use a safety. And lastly, Levi, excuse me if I butcher your name, Onwuzurike. He's a dog. I think he actually re-signs with Detroit, but for a team-friendly deal, but he would be a dog for that D line. Let's look. Shout out to Levi on that. Now, when it comes to the Chicago Bears draft position, round 1 they got the 10th pick overall. Round 2 they got the 39th pick from the Carolina Panthers. Round 2 they have their own pick at 41. Round 3 they have their own pick at 72. Round 5 is still to be determined, and round 6 is also to be determined, but they got that pick from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Round 7 is also to be determined. They got that from the Browns, as well as another pick that they got from the Bengals, which is also to be determined. Now, who could be some targets at 10 for the Chicago Bears? Who could be some draft targets for those guys? I believe the pick is in. And these are some names these are some names that I have specifically that could be in the building at pick 10 for the Chicago Bears. In no particular order, but let's go. They all dogs. First up, Will Campbell, LSU offensive lineman, big dog, highly talented, special. I think he could be a guard in the league, but Will Campbell would drastically improve that offensive line for Chicago. Shouts out Will Campbell. Edge, Abdul Carter's on everybody's mock draft, everybody's big board. Abdul Carter, insane guy coming out and wearing number 11 like my Micah Parsons, also a former Nittany Lion. Number 11, Abdul Carter is a monster, guaranteed to do his thing in the league. Could he be a Chicago Bear? Let's know. I don't know if he's on the board at 10, honestly. I don't think he's on the board at 10. Next up, Ashton Genty. Everybody know who Ashton Genty is by now. I said they wanted to get more explosive. They wanted to get more physical at the point of attack with they running. This guy goes to Fall Forward University, right? If you happen to bring him down, it will land forward for that extra yard or two. Ashton Genty could definitely be on the board at 10 for the Chicago Bears, and I think they would be running to the podium if that's their guy. Now, running back Omarion Hampton. Look, you got Ashton, and then you got like Omarion right here. And right here is still good. Because everybody else, it's like it really creep off, even though this is a heck of a running back draft. Omarion Hampton, my guy, he's up there. He's up there. He's another great running back. Nothing bad to say about the guy. He's explosive. He can make the big play, great hands, catch out the backfield. He has some route running ability to him. You could kind of throw him out wide. He can do a couple of things with the ones and the twos. Omarion Hampton is that guy. Could definitely be on the board at 10 for him. But do they try and swing the block back in the second round for him? Well, no, and definitely be a big gamble because he probably gone by the time you swing that block. Next up, offensive lineman Kelvin Banks, Texas, building in the trenches, getting better. That's what they need to do. Banks, Campbell, definitely guys to look out for with that 10th overall pick. I know drafting a lineman isn't a sexy pick, but it's not sexy watching your quarterback get sacked a crazy amount of times. Nothing sexy about that. So, and nothing a wide receiver could do to stop that. And he can't throw himself the ball. So, Will Campbell, Kelvin Banks, those guys will definitely be possibilities at pick 10. Next up, Mason Graham. My man is the number one defensive tackle in the draft. The boy is a monster. Physical specimen. Break down the pocket. He gonna get to that quarterback with that interior rush. Got a nose for the football in the run game. This guy right here is an all-pro already in my book. He's a for sure thing. Mason Graham. Mason Graham. If you don't know his name, you know now. Tight end, Colston Loveland, Michigan. Swag. The boy loved to do his thing down the seam. He can catch the ball, got a good radius to him, short hands. Now he got to put some more weight on him if you're going to try and use him in line as a blocker. That's not his bag at all. My man got the hands and he's damn near wide receiver, but tight end Colston Loveland could be an option at 10. If not, try and swing that block and come get him in the second round. We don't know. But speaking of the second round, it's time for that Bears mock draft. Yes, sir. And you know, when it comes to that mock draft, I keep it realer than real. I don't care how anybody feel. I'm going to call it how I see it. They got needs, and the board is going to fall exactly how it's supposed to fall. With that being said, let me throw that up there for you guys. And let's see what that mock draft talking about. Let's see how the board really falling for them. All right. Let's see. So we got the Chicago Bears link. We got them on 3 rounds. We're going to change the speed to fast. Let's get into it. All right, we're not doing no trades. I should have said that. We're not doing no trades. Arizona trying to come around. Nah, nah, nah. So what we gonna do is we just gonna reject all those, not even pay attention. Let's see what fell before us, though. That's important. So the quarterbacks 1 and 2. Cameron Ward went to Tennessee. Shador went to Cleveland. I think that's a perfect fit for both of those guys right there in the situation. New York gets Will Campbell, offensive tackle. He didn't even last long, right? Abdul Carter, he didn't last long. Goes for Travis Hunter, 5. Mason Graham goes to Mason Graham. Look, I'm telling you, the names I put out for y'all is not it. They get snatched up because those are dogs. Mason Graham to Las Vegas Raiders. That's a hell of a pickup for them boys. Mikael Williams goes to the Jets. Malachi Starks to the Panthers. Ted McMillan to the Saints. So let's see what this board looking like. Let's see what this board looking like. All right, you got Ashton Genty, Will Johnson, James Pierce Jr., Kelvin Banks Jr. still there, Luther Burden, Tyler Booker. Oh, you got some guys right there. Okay, my fault, y'all. My fault, y'all. I just had to do a little backhouse thing. All right, Ashton Genty, Will Johnson, James Pierce. Who we taking? Who we taking? Ashton Genty. They're gonna get explosive. Will Johnson and get the cornerback they need out there. James Pierce, he's an edge slash linebacker. Who do they take? I'm not playing with it. They go grab Ashton Genty. They break my heart as a Dallas Cowboys fan. They take Ashton Genty. Nobody in the building would be mad about that. Fans be going crazy at the draft. All right, now we took running back, which is not on their team needs. So we just went and got an explosive player for the offense, which will do great for Caleb Williams, having Ashton Genty behind them. So we not even worry about the team needs. We live in YOLO, baby, and we trying to build this shit the right way. Now, we just said that people that you could lose was Keenan Allen. So right now, Trey Harris is looking like a steal. Is looking like a steal. Now, but they need defensive tackle. Walter Nolan, Kenneth Grant. These guys right here, especially Kenneth Grant, you can't sneeze at. You can't sneeze at. And if they're not going to cover a defensive tackle in free agency, then they got to cover it in the draft, right? Can we pass up on that? I don't know. Defensive tackle, wide receiver. I mean, you went running back for explosive. All right, you're going to try and run the game, do some play action with Caleb Williams, get him moving to the left and the right of the pocket, get the ball out of his hands quickly. So is Trey Harris more important than somebody who's going to stop that run and get the ball ultimately back into Caleb's hands faster? You know what, guys? I'm going to need Kenneth Grant. I know Walter Nolan's ahead of him, but Kenneth Grant is a dog, and I got to go with him. All right, so we rejecting these trades, like I said. Skirt, skirt, skirt. All right, now we back on the board at 41. Could double dip at defensive tackle, but that would be insane. Okay, now offensive guard OC. I know y'all in there screaming like, yo, you just talked about the offensive line input and completely ignored it. Completely ignored it. I did not. Let me tell you right now, Donovan Jackson, do they got anything on him? Yes, they do. Is poised to be a top interior offensive lineman. Hello. I know what the fuck I'm doing when it comes to this shit. It's draft talk. I know what I'm doing when it comes to this football shit right here. Donovan Jackson, top interior offensive lineman in 2025 NFL Draft, showcasing an impressive resume at Ohio State. 6'4", 320 pounds. He combines sharp intelligence, explosive mobility, and powerful strength with solid athleticism and punchy hands. I got punchy hands too. Jackson has all the tools to become a long-term force on an NFL offensive line. I'm not even going any further. Before any of y'all was about to talk ish about my draft right now, saying he don't know what he's doing, he don't know what he's talking about. Ashton Genty, Kenneth Grant, and then go throw something on the offensive line like this. We run into the board with that. Y'all gotta put some respect on my name. We back. There's no more. We're not doing any trades. We rejecting, right? We killing the fucking draft right now. We got the commentators, we got the analysts like, yo, they're having a heck of a draft over there so far. I could get Quinshawn Junkins right now. I could. Look, we already filled our offensive guard. We already got a defensive tackle. We threw a running back. So all that's left is edge, OT, and OC. Let's not play with the offensive center, right? He touches the ball first. Let me just see. All right, Jared Wilson projects as a high upside starter in the NFL while he is still raw. I never like sushi. As just as a one-year starting center, the 3-star Bulldogs recruit has the athleticism and natural leverage understanding to be one of the first pure center prospects off the board in 2025. 6'3", 310 pounds, starting center, has a strong base and impressive hand. I got impressive hands. Usage while also possessing the fluid mobility to work in space. Next guy ain't even got nothing to talk about. What are we talking about? We building on that offensive line, y'all. Chicago should be very happy about this pick right here, man. Very happy. I just picked 4, and I said it was a 3-round mock. But I just picked 4 for y'all, and y'all welcome. Ashton Genty, running back, Boise State. Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle, Michigan. Donovan Jackson, offensive guard, Ohio State. Jared Wilson, offensive center, Georgia. We just snatched up 2 of the highly talented offensive linemen, and we picked those 2 guys last. I'll let your boy in his draft skills. Yay. So, yeah, man, y'all let me know how y'all feel about that draft order. You know, I had to throw that up there and do my thing, let y'all understand that although I'm not a Chicago Bears fan, I still know what I'm talking about. I'm a fan of all 32. Let's not get it twisted. I'm a fan of all 32. I'm paying attention even when y'all thinking I'm not paying attention. You know. But what we about to do next is get into this 2025 schedule. And let's discuss it real quick. How y'all feeling about it? 1 second, just doing some background things, producing while it's in the air. You know what I'm saying? Okay. 1 second there, y'all. Just had messed something up, exited out of something, really. Get that back. Okay. Yeah. All right. So we got the 2025 opponents. First look, first glance. So it's not an easy one. Now, you know, they play in the NFC. They play in the NFC North, so it's already a very tough division to maneuver through anyway on any season. But let's look at it. So, you know, that division come with the Lions, come with Green Bay, comes with the Vikings. So those things that come with. Now they got a game with Dallas Cowboys, Giants, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Saints, Ravens, Bengals. Oh wow! So the NFC North is playing the AFC North, and so that's gonna be a crazy. This is gonna be a crazy season. Just coming off those respective teams in those both divisions, that's gonna be some. It's gonna make for some good football for sure. But then you got Philly, Washington, San Fran. So you also dealing with the NFC East. This gonna be this right here. This season. This is gonna tell y'all what y'all need to know about y'all quarterback and y'all head coach. This is because in no way, shape, or form should y'all be thinking they even make the playoffs. But they could. They could make the playoffs. They for sure could make the playoffs. Now, if I had to just guess on this, I'm looking at a maybe 7-10. 7-10. Y'all let me know in the comment section how y'all feeling about that. Is it 7-10? Y'all feeling? I'm just having a hard time really thinking that y'all going any kind of winning spree. I think you'll pull a game out here, pull a game out there. Like, okay, the New York Giants off the rip seems like a winnable game. Cleveland Browns right now, how they standing and everything going on, look like a winnable game. The Saints, I'm not sure because Kellen Moore, I don't know what to expect out of Kellen Moore in the New Orleans Saints. I'm not sure. They got some good things going on the roster. I just think they needed just an overall overhaul and rebuild. I think that could be what this season is about. So I okay. So the Giants, Cleveland, Saints. That's 3. Where's the cakewalk? You know, where's the easy week? Because I'm not even sure the Giants is that easy. I think Dayball and the general manager out there, Shane, they're on the hot seat, so they can't have a bad season. So you might have to scratch the Giants. So for the foot, man, look, they was 5-12 last season, and with an easier schedule if you really look at it. This all depends on what Caleb does. Are him and Ben to be able? Can Ben and Caleb get on the same page as soon as possible? I mean, that's the biggest question here when you're looking at this calendar. I mean, could they win? Could this be a great season for the Chicago Bears? Could fans of these other respectable teams be like, "Whoa, we got to play Chicago when it gets down to like week 4 or 5 after they've been rolling and they seem to have some things going along like is it going to be night or is it going to be day when the season starts? I don't know. So just free balling right here. You went 5-12 last season. Looking at this schedule just off rip, thinking that it's going to take they're going to be a big learning curve when it comes to Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. I'm gonna go 6-11. I think they could win one more game. They'll go 6-11. As long as Caleb shows improvement in either the decision making, accuracy, time management, understanding these plays, but it's also on Ben to put him in a situation and play calling that's conducive to what he does best. So it's a hand-in-hand thing. So when it comes to the Chicago Bears, I'm gonna throw a 6-11 season out there. Y'all let me know in the chat how y'all feeling about that. Is that something y'all can see working out for the Chicago Bears? As always, you know what I'm saying? It's your boy Run It Up Rude. It's been another episode of Real Sports Talk, home of the realest sports talk. And I'm still on that hunt for 100 subscriptions. It's a brand new channel. I'm having fun with it. I'm learning my way how to navigate showing content while talking about it. You know what I'm saying? So everything is everything when over here, right? Everything is new. It's the new car smell over here. Everything looking brand new. You know what I'm saying? So shouts out to your boy. Show me some slack. Subscribe, like, and comment. And as always, I thank you.